So I seen a tweet the other day about someone suggesting the idea that Sonic Racing CrossWorlds might have already died. And contrary to what you might have thought before clicking on this video, nah, I don't think that's the case. I think people are being a little bit dramatic as per usual. But it is a little interesting to see all of the hype that this game had leading into its release and then actually receiving the game and looking at the numbers. Recently, a sales chart showing how much the game sold. Keep in mind, the game has not been out for a full month. We are currently in, I believe, week 3 of the game being released, and things can change, they can evolve. However, looking at things at how they are now, in its first week of release, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and keep in mind, a lot of games are going to get a bulk of their sales in that first week. That's going to be their peak in how much you're going to receive in a week. They could get a lot over time, but generally speaking, they're going to see their most amount they're ever going to in one particular period during that first week. The game moved physically 7,000 copies, 5 to 7,000. I don't have the number pulled up right now. And for a franchise as big as Sonic the Hedgehog, that does look a little bit underwhelming. But for me, the real kicker was seeing Mario Kart World move 35,000. That's literally about almost 5 to 6 times as many units. And keep in mind, Mario Kart World came out in June, and for a lot of people, they already have the game through the $50 additional Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. So there is a sizable amount of portion of people who probably more than likely bought Sonic Racing Crossworlds on Steam, on the PlayStation Store, on the Xbox Store, primarily so they could receive that bundle that allowed them to experience the game way earlier than the people who just bought the base version. And that is true. However, the way that we collect sales data, because Sega has yet to confirm anything officially, with the methods that we currently have, it is very interesting to see that this game did not move as well as many people thought it would. Now, this might be a little delusion coming from me, but I assumed that the game would move close to 1 million in its first week. And that did not happen. And I kind of talk about why some of the reasons people aren't exactly playing the game as much that we thought they were. And first and foremost, let's talk about things that we can see. I think the festival format of the game, we're already, as I said before, about to hit week 3, and we have had 2 festivals. We have had the Minecraft Steve, and during the game's launch week, we had the Hatsune Miku Festival. And in my personal opinion, I don't like the festival experience, especially have it being spammed so much within the first 2 weeks of the game coming out almost. I don't quite enjoy that way of playing the game, okay? Like the normal racing modes, and especially seeing those modes, because again, for a racing game and a game like Splatoon has had a wide variety of modes and objectives, but the core game mode of playing Turf War. Now, I understand. I thought Splatoon sucked when it was only Turf War, but playing during a festival, right? You're still playing the normal quote unquote online mode. Now, you do lose ranked options, but that has always based its identity around those celebrations, those Splatfests that have existed since the first game. So it's okay. It's expected. The Splatfest starts on Friday. It wraps up on Sunday. Cool. If you don't like the theme, just bounce off for a couple days. But with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, again, it's just an excuse to throw a required LTM at us. There's no community aspect of it, where as Splatoon, I am incentivized to want to participate and play the modes that I might not enjoy as much, simply because I want my team to win. If you put people in a team, naturally they're going to be more competitive. They're going to want to win more than if they were not in a team. And with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, the closest thing we have to that is they throw you into 3 random groups upon loading into a match. What if I don't want to be Team Enderman? What if I fucking hate Enderman? Well, you gotta be Team Enderman. And I'm not saying that it makes that much of a difference, but I just feel so uninspired and unincentivized to win, because keep in mind, you don't even earn rank. You don't get to progress your rank in this mode, and you could argue the same for Splatoon, but Splatoon, that rank is just straight status, whereas Sonic Racing Crossworlds, there are unlocks tied to your rank progression. There is an incentive to want to see that little bar climb higher and higher and higher, and especially within the game's launch period of having it to be disabled for as long as it was. Keep in mind, these festivals start on Thursday. That's 4 whole days. That's the whole fucking weekend. Just completely locked to playing a mode that for a lot of people, again, like myself, I don't enjoy this mode. Another baffling decision that exists in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is whatever reason, the ability to play the game on the highest speed mode, to my knowledge, I could be wrong on this, but to my knowledge, is locked. You are not able to play 150cc online. And I have to ask Sega, why? Why? I think that is almost as baffling as a decision to Nintendo in Mario Kart World not having you be able to select the 3-lap course you want to play. I think that is utterly ridiculous. You have it in the game. You can just enable it online, because playing this Grand Prix mode and some of the offline modes in that manner with that speed is so much more enjoyable. But you can't play it online? Are you serious right now? And especially seeing people, a lot of people saying that, oh, Sonic has its own 200cc mode. Like, I can't play it online. I might as well not have it at all. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. I saw a lot of people in the lead up to this game talking about how much the collabs matter. And for a while, I was on that side until I sat there and thought about it. And I was like, hey, a vast majority of these collabs are going to result in peaks in player base, okay? Players coming back. That's a good idea. Regular content updates, they seem like they're going to drop month to month. So there's going to be a certain aspect of people returning to play the new course, a new character. That's great and that's dandy. However, if I'm little Timothy, if I'm back in my 5-year-old body and I'm interested in buying this game, SpongeBob being on the cover, SpongeBob being in the game, but not playable because you have to wait for him to unlock, on top of buying the digital deluxe edition for the cheapest way to obtain that season pass. It's kind of upsetting. It's kind of ridiculous. And especially because way back when, I thought people were upset when DLC existed and was locked to the disc. It's on the disc. They finished it before launch, but they decided to turn around, slap you in the face, and then charge you for it. Now, again, part of the reason why people are probably not upset is because of the fact that, hey, it's only a $10 increase. It is a steal. It is a steal to be able to acquire the season pass with the digital deluxe, along with being able to play the game early. Cool. However, I still don't quite like that practice, and I'm not going to give them a pass for doing that. I think it's lame as hell. It is, especially if I'm little Tommy. And there's a reason why a lot of the SpongeBob licensed games, or just licensed games in general, are not sold at full price. And that's because they're a little bit cheaper, because they're more likely to sell way more at a reduced price. Now, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, relatively speaking, is going to go on sale soon. And we can see an influx in player base. I think this holiday is going to be the real deciding factor on if this game was able to meet Sega standards. And I hope it does, because quite frankly, I think this is a good game and I would love to see it get more support, but that's up for them to decide. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about this game. Do y'all think this game flopped? Do you think it's not? I don't think it's going to flop. I don't think it's going to die, but I certainly hope that somehow it can thrive. Fucking bars. Anyways, I'm out of here. Bye.